Good morning, guys. Look at that. Some sun. Man, we've been having like torrential rain for probably 3 weeks straight. This is the first day where we've had like really good sun. Saturday morning, time to start a new project. So, what this video is going to be is building the chicken paddock. I know I've done talked about it a couple times in other videos and did a little bit of setup already. But basically where the new chicken coop is built, I'm going to be building a paddock back there, and then all of our chickens, turkeys are going to move to the back so that they're not pooping everywhere all the time. Drives me nuts. So much poop. Anyway, so a portion of it is done. And then I'm just going to be continuing today. I have a jackhammer that I borrowed from a friend, so I'm going to be starting to do the wooden post this morning and start to get those up. I have about 20 T-posts already in the ground, but yeah, it's going to be continuing. So thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and let's get to work. Good morning, guineas. Okay, I see you. All right, so I'm up in the office of the shop looking out the window over the back of the property. But this is where I can give you kind of the best view. So you can see on this side here, I have my T-post going, and that's on the property line. So right now, it's going up about 200 feet. So roughly there's 20 T-posts in the ground, starting with right here. You probably can't see, but there's one right here. So from this pole, every 10 feet basically. And then at the 100-foot mark, there's going to be 2 wooden posts that go in the ground to create an H. And then the next 100 feet, there will be another H. So the fence line on this side is going to extend probably another 50 to 60 feet beyond where it is now. And then on this side of the shop, it's on ultra wide mode, so that's why everything looks so weird. From the front of the chicken coop on this side, it's going to extend out about 12 feet, and then it's going to go and follow the road on this side all the way up. And then if you see right here, there's a kind of a big lava mound. It's going to wrap around the road, around that lava mound, and then behind there is where it's going to cut across and meet up the fence on this side. So what I'm going to be working on today is going to be I'm going to start in this corner here and get these 3 posts in the ground. So there's going to be 2 posts along the roadside, and then there will be an H there. That'll be my pole point for stretching the fence along the road here. And then there will be a single post here, and then I'm going to put a gate, and then between the post and the chicken coop there will be fencing. So that's the plan, and we'll see how far I get in this video. I don't think I'm going to stretch this one out. I have other videos where I was doing fencing, but just to show you guys the process of this. And other things that are going to be involved with this is I'm going to have to build a turkey tower, which is basically going to be a spot for the turkeys to roost at night. So right here, there's kind of a lava mound here and then a small lava mound. So in between there's kind of a flat area. That's where I'm going to put the turkey tower. And then eventually, once this paddock is fully done, we're actually going to get goats. So then I'm going to have to build a goat house, which is going to be further back behind this lava mound, back in, this area around there somewhere. So anyway, let me get set up and we'll get started on putting these posts in. All right, so we're on the ground out here. You can see my paint marks. So this is going to be where the first 3 posts are going to go. And there will be an H here. So basically that's the 2 posts, and then there will be a cross, it's going to look just like this. So when I say an H, that's what I'm talking about. 2 posts and then a horizontal post in between. So there will be an H here, and then there will be a single post there. There's going to be a gate here that it will open up. So the fence line is going to go from this post over to that post, and then this way. And then on the back side of the coop, where the fence starts over there and continues this way, It's going to be attached to the coop, and then it's going to go to the shop over there. So this area here is going to be a raised bed area where I'm going to, we're going to start growing stuff. When that happens, this fencing gets up, then this section of fencing, I'm going to just pull that out. So this fence will come down, the fence going to the shop will come down. This post I'll cut off, and then this post I'll remove. And then we'll be able to just walk right up here, grab eggs. We'll have stuff growing here in raised beds eventually. The dogs will be able to come up here because we have been getting rats that have been coming in to try and eat the food. So when the dogs are able to get up here, the rats are not going to come up here so much because Hati's a little ratter. He catches and kills them all the time. He's a good dog for that. Skull tries, but he's just, too fat and big. All right, so I'm gonna set up my pop-up because I don't want to be, sweating in the sun too much. And then I'm gonna start digging these holes out. I'll get the jackhammer set up and we'll get to work. So I'm remembering now why I hired someone with a rock auger, because this totally sucks. Yeah, that had to be a pretty boring time lapse. So I kind of showed a little bit of the process on the time lapse, but basically what it is you just got to do this, go to each hole and just work your way through. So let me show you the progress I made so far. So as you can see, the hole, and it's full of water because we've had so much rain lately. So that's probably a foot deep to maybe close to 18 inches. And what I'm looking to get is probably 18 to 24 inches, somewhere around that depth. A lot of this is cleared away around the edge, but the actual ground height, and then of course you have mud everywhere. So I'm going to continue on, and then once I get these three done, I'll be back when I start to do the concrete. All right, so I have these three holes dug now for this corner. So now I'm ready to, I gotta go get the hose hooked up and bring it over here, and then start mixing up some concrete in the concrete pan there, and then get these posts in the ground. So yeah, that's a lot of work. I think it was probably been 2 hours since I was last recording to get these done. All right, let me go get the hose and get this set up. All right, so I got these three posts in. Now I just need to dress up the concrete a little bit. So when you're doing posts like this and you're in a rainy place like this, you want to make sure that you kind of cone up the concrete around the post so that any water that falls on there is going to drain away, because you don't want water sitting, see right there, the water in the concrete sitting right on the post. So that'll cause the post to rot prematurely. So I had some extra, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up a curb right here in between these two, because there's going to be a gate here eventually, and that way I'll have a flat spot for the gate to close against. So let me go ahead and get these dressed up and keep going. And of course, our nice sunny day, it's sprinkling now, but sun's still out, still warm, so I appreciate that. All right, it's the next day. We got another beautiful sunny day. These ones are all set. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my string line, and I'm going to kind of pick my point for my next post. As this road curves, there'll probably be like a post here, and then a post up there, and then a post up there to get around that corner. But I want to make sure that I leave like 14 feet on the road, so I don't want to make the road more narrow than that, because that's what my gates are 14 foot, so I want to keep the road the same size all the way up. So I'll have to, like I said, I'm going to get my string line, and then I'm going to start marking out this next section. All right, so this is the next post. That's about 100 feet out. But I've been working on this since the time lapse. So you can see I'm here with the hammer drill, and I got all the T-posts in from that front back to here. I have one more T-post, and then I'll start jackhammering the hole for the wood post there. And then I have one right on the other side of here is going to be for the back side of the fence. You can see the T-post there. That's going to be that fence line going down. So this section of the paddock will be kind of narrow, but as the road starts to curve, this paddock's going to get a lot larger, and it's going to go probably close to 260 feet from the chicken coop back. So you can see some of the T-posts that we put in already back there. And then it's going to follow the road around here and then cut behind that lava mound. So this is going to end up being quite a large area for the animals to roam in. So let me get back to work and dig in holes. So this is what happens in Hawaii. It's sunny, partly cloudy, and then a minute later it's just dumping rain. So I kind of cleaned up a little bit. We'll see the rain. It says it's just a passing storm or rain cloud, I guess. So like by 3:30 they're saying it's supposed to stop. The weather app, it doesn't really know how to handle Hawaii weather, but we'll see how it does. So if it does end up stopping and clearing up a little bit, then I'm gonna come back out and I'll put this post in. I have the hole dug deep enough now, so let me flip the camera around. So that'll be the next post. But yeah, look how how much water's come through here. So, well, yeah, luckily I had this pop-up or easy up, so my stuff didn't get soaked. I was able to go grab the umbrella and take stuff back to my shop and roll up the extension cords. So we'll see if it stops, and if it does, I'll be back out here to put this post in. All right, so it's the next day. It ended up being like a pretty sunny day today as well, but I had to go to work because it's Monday. But just got home from work and mixed up some concrete and got this post in the ground. I'm letting it set a little bit, and then I'll dress that up, make it smooth, and make sure that it slopes away. And then once this one's done, then I'll just be continuing down the line. There will be another post probably somewhere right in here, and then one up there right around the corner. So just keep on going. All right, man, this is a hot one today. So I have this is the next hole dug. This is on the property line side. So this is basically 100 feet out from where the coop is. So there will be this post here. You can see the T-post I already have up, and then another 100 feet there will be another one. I'm getting set up to do the concrete now, so I think once I get this post in the ground, I'm gonna actually start working on getting some fencing set up on the front, because now that I have a post out here, and then the other post you can see is right there on the roadside, I can actually start stretching fence. So I want to kind of get that, because I have a roll, but I'm not sure how much is in it. It's probably 100 feet or maybe 150 feet at most. So I want to kind of see what I have so I know how much more I need to go get. So let me go get my bag of concrete and get this mixed up. Okay, so I dug this roll out. It was kind of getting overgrown in the weeds. But I think there's probably over 100 feet here. So the section I'm going to start with is, this is the back corner of the shop, obviously, going to the chicken coop. And then if you look all the way up there, you can see the last post that I put in right there. And then so I'm going to work on getting it stretched from this post here to that post up there, and then I'll be attaching it to all of the T-posts as I go up. And the T-posts might look a little like, you know, wobbly, but they can be bent. So as long as they're generally in line, the T-posts are to keep the fence from tipping over. That's their only purpose, really. They're not for stretching or anything like that. That's what the wood posts are for. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and get this roll laid out. It's starting to rain. The guineas are just being loud as hell. The entire time I've been back here, they've been bitching. And then of course I'm gonna get a piece connected from the shop. So I'm basically gonna put a couple 2x4s attached to the wall here. That's where the fence will start. Go around this pole, and then connect to the chicken coop. And then the piece going to the back is gonna start from here or possibly here. Yeah, anyway, let me get started. Okay, so basically what I did here is I mounted a 2x4 to the wall, and then I put the fence in between and mounted another 2x4. And what I'll end up doing is I'll strip off this, and then this will get wrapped around and actually get tied to this. But before I do that, I'm gonna actually start tightening this fence to these posts over here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch it a little bit using this post. I'll stretch it and attach it to this post. And then once that's attached and this part is tight, then I'll go all the way to the end where the other post is, where I have the fencing run. And I'll probably end up pulling my FJ over there so I have something to anchor to. I'll hook up my come along to the FJ bumper with a strap, and then I'll stretch this the whole length. I'll start by attaching it on this post, and then I'll just go T-post to T-post, and then putting the clips on and get this section of fencing put up. All right, just to show how I usually set up my come along, I take two 2x4s and I screw them together, one on each side of the fence. You can buy actual fence pullers that they're like metal and they go on, and you got to put thumb screws or nuts and bolts on them, whatever. I just do this out of a couple pieces of scrap, screw them together, unscrew it, move to the next section. I just run a strap around the top and the bottom, hook my come along there, hook the come along to a post or my FJ or whatever I'm connecting to, and then you just pull it tight. And then once it's tight, I go to the back side and I hammer in staples on that section of fence, and then I just keep moving along. So I'll get this nailed, and then I'll go get set up on the next area. Okay, whew. So at this point the fence is pretty tight. I know it's sagging a little bit, but this is 100 feet of fence. So just it being held up like that means that it's pretty taut. It started pulling my FJ this way a little bit, believe it or not. So what I'm gonna do now is I gotta go down to that end. I have to hammer in some staples on there, and then I'm going to start connecting on the T-post, the clips on the T-post, and then just work my way up. And as you notice, there's a lot of like kind of up and downs here. So as you're going along, you stand on the fence in the low spots to bring the fence down, and then you just kind of work your way around. So there's probably going to be some spots where it won't go all the way down, and I'll just fill those areas with rocks. So let me go get my clips and start attaching this stuff. Well, I'm sure that was a super boring time lapse to watch, but I wanted to show how you put these clips on, because I've seen so many people do it the wrong way. And even the first time when I started doing it, I was doing it the wrong way too. So your T-post clips has this short side and then a longer side. Another very important thing is when you're putting your T-posts in, you want to make sure that the nubs are facing out, because that's what holds the fence in place. So if you saw in the time lapse how I was standing on the fence to drop it into place, that's what these nubs do, is they hold it in place. So the way that this goes on, you take your short side and you hook it. The long side lays over the top, and then you can pinch this short side. You don't have to do this, but it's a little more secure if you pinch it a little bit. And then what works best is if you have a really short screwdriver, short handle and short metal part of the screwdriver. And they actually make a tool for this. But basically all you do is you put the screwdriver in there and then you just spin it like that. And then that's how you tighten the fence. So as you're doing that, it's basically pulling the clip tight and the fence tight. And then that's all you should really need to do. So I'm going to continue on with this. I'm not going to film it because it's super boring. Fencing is a lot of work, but I mean, you got to take the time to go through and do everything. So I'll be back when it's done. Okay, so I have the fence attached right here on this post. What will end up happening is this will get trimmed, and I'll take those pieces off, wrap them around, and actually twist them around this side so that it's very locked in. You'll notice these ones don't have clips on them yet, and that's because this one right here in the low spot, if I attach the fence to it, it actually pulls the T-post out of the ground. So I got to pour some concrete in the base of this one, and yeah, let that sit overnight until it hardens. But everything else is all tied in. I do have some low spots, so I'll go back. Like up in here, there's a low spot there and a low spot here. So luckily I have plenty of rocks. I'll just go and throw those in on the low spots. And then once this one is cemented in, I'll come back and I'll do the clips on these last 3 T-posts. All right guys, well, it's Saturday again. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Made quite a bit of progress, went into town today, got a couple more rolls of fencing. So you can see behind me, I'm getting started on the section along the road. And I think I have like 3 more posts I need to dig with the jackhammer. So we're actually, I called Shane, and he has the rock auger, so he's actually going to come out and finish the last of the holes. Just because doing the jackhammering work is like really sucky. So he's going to do, basically what's going to be left for him is the back corners of the paddock area, which is going to be 3 posts in each corner, which will be basically just like this same setup here. So he's going to do those 3 on each of the corners in the back of the paddock, and then he's going to go all the way to the back of the property, do the 3 post corners in all 4 corners, and then 2 posts for the gate, where the gate will be at the front of that area. So that'll probably be on the next video though. This one's getting into the 20-minute range, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it now. And I'll do an update when I get a little further along. Hopefully we can get these chickens moved over here soon. All right. Thanks for watching as always, guys. Thanks for watching and tuning in, and appreciate it. Give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe, all the normal stuff. And go and watch all my old videos if you haven't seen them. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Aloha.